Every who down in Who Newville liked the holidays a ton, but where to get great prices on gifts, they had no idea. None. They searched and they searched for great gifts under $25. Gifts for spouses and friends and even their toddlers. When suddenly one who shouted, Walmart has what you want, knowing they have Lego, Tree Hut, and no prices to flaunt. So they enjoy the holiday season as who's often do. Cheering and shouting, Walmart has incredible gifts. Who knew? Find gifts they'll love under $25 at Walmart.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. Enjoy comfortable rooms and friendly service when you stay with Hilton instead. Save up to 25% this season when you book with Hilton. Hilton for the stay. Terms apply.
All right. Welcome back.
Misfit Nation, the Misfit Nation show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by two veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the Misfit Nation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the Misfit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the Misfit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the Misfit Nation show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
Woo! All right. Misfit Nation, tonight we step into that Thanksgiving season mindset. A time to reflect. A time to give thanks. A time to remember exactly what fuels us. We're grateful for resilience. We're grateful for community. Grateful for every single misfit who shows up and chooses to get better, stronger, and more fired up week after week. And tonight, we channel that gratitude into momentum, into energy, into purpose, because showing up isn't just about habit. It's a commitment to yourself. So no matter how your week began, tonight is your reset. Tonight is your recharge. Tonight is when the Misfit Nation rises together and gets after it. And leading that charge tonight with fire, with grit, is Steven, also known as Kang, and Jake, also known as Lacey. So give it up, boys. It's time for the ToosDay Crue.
That opening gets better and better every week.
He does. We're going to start paying him more money.
I don't know what kind of crack they have in Tennessee, but it just gets wilder and wilder.
Yes. And hey, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the ToosDay Crue on our pre-Thanksgiving show. I'd like to wish everybody out there a happy Thanksgiving. and Jake, and I'm coming to you from beautiful Lexington, Oklahoma this week, out here visiting some family. How are you doing, Stephen?
I'm good. I'm not there. I'm still in Jersey. It's raining.
Well, it rained here. That's probably the rain that we was getting a couple days ago, because it rained here for like 2 days, and yeah, it was bad stuff. But we got through it, and everything's good to go.
We should probably publicly, wish our producer happy birthday belated.
Yes, it was our producer's birthday this week. Happy birthday, Rich! And while we're on that, I'm just going to go ahead and tell everybody out there, hey, we love your support. We love what you're doing for us. Just make sure to get on there, hit that like, share, and subscribe. Every time you do that, gets us more exposure, and hopefully we can reach more people. Now, I got a question for you, Stephen.
Yes, sir.
Do you like money?
No.
You don't like
I like
money?
toys. I like toys, but money has to buy toys. I guess I do like money, yes.
Okay, I would say if you don't like money, you can send all your money to me, and hey, that'll be cool. But hey, tonight we have a awesome guest on here this evening. His name is Bart Merrell, and he's an international entrepreneur, and he's an author. He has a podcast called Monetize Your Mindset. I listened to a few episodes of that podcast, and I'm really excited about what Bart has to say. Basically, I'm gonna let him tell the story, but there's some things that was in his bio we're going to have to ask him about. First of all, he turning opportunities into successful ventures. He said before he could legally drive, he's going to have to tell that story. And he's going to have to tell the story about the time that he bungee jumped in Japan, because I think that story is probably more interesting than what it shows in his bio. So we're going to have to get that from him firsthand. So without any further ado, let's get Bart in here.
Good evening, Bart. How are you?
Pretty good. How about you guys?
We're good, thank you.
Living the dream.
Your intro is definitely getting interesting. I would be interesting to hear what it was like before, but it was really good tonight.
Every week is something different. We don't even know what's going to happen until it does. We just play along.
Yeah, we just play along, and when he says "take it away, boys," we just take it from there. So it really doesn't matter what he says, but like I said, it gets more interesting every week.
That's awesome.
Bart, I gave about a nickel's worth of your biography and tell them what you do. Why don't you fill in the other 95 cents and make sure you hit the bungee jumping in Japan, because I want to hear about that.
All right. So I'm Bart Merrell, the Side Hustle Samurai. I help people identify their ideal side hustle and create financial security by monetizing the things that they already know and do. I grew up with this because my dad, he was a pig farmer, but he wasn't just a pig farmer. He had his hands in many different things in the agricultural industry. And as a kid, he never set me down and showed me the birds and the bees of business. He just showed me by example. And okay. I grew up watching him and learning. And then anytime I wanted to try something, he was there to encourage me and help me as we go. I did my first side hustle right after I got my driver's license, but I wrecked my first car at 8 years old. I decided that while mom and dad were gone to town, I wanted to practice driving, and they happened to left the keys to the car on the refrigerator. And so I hopped in and backed it out of the garage, and someone drove by on the road, and it scared me. So I was like, okay, I just need to park it back and go back inside. And as I was pulling inside, my foot was on the brake. And as I was rolling, I started to roll faster and faster and faster. And all of a sudden my foot came off the brake and slammed on the gas. And I went boom, right into the front of the garage, destroyed the cabinets. And I lied for a couple of days until my dad broke me and he got the truth out of me. And let's just say I was grounded for life. I had to work child labor laws didn't stop him from putting me in the fields, and I was pulling weeds for 50 cents an hour until I paid for the cupboards.
I feel your pain, and if your dad was anything like mine, which it kind of sounds like they were, if I screwed something up, tore something up, broke a piece of equipment or something like that, I didn't get a whipping or I didn't get punished for tearing up the equipment. But if I lied about it, he would tear me up.
That was the main thing. That's the reason I got grounded. The working in the fields was to pay for the cupboards. And like I said, it was 50 cents an hour, and I was hoeing weeds in the cotton fields. And yeah. So,
nice.
but anyway, I bought my first stereo at age 11. I'd loved music. I worked all summer on the pig farm, and it was an all-in-one Sanyo system. It cost me $285. It had a cassette deck on one side. You guys are old enough to know what was on the other side.
Yes. Yes, you had that. You had that LP player.
I had the 8-track, and then I had the record player on the top, and then the tuner in the middle. I loved music, but little did I know I just purchased my first liability, because every time I went to town, I'd have to buy the new tunes. And back then, we had to buy all the songs, even the ones we didn't like.
Oh, yeah.
Not like today, where we can just pick the ones we like. And it was very expensive for an 11-year-old kid. When I got my driver's license at 15, I decided I was going to do a mobile disco business. Upgraded my sound system a little bit, bought a trailer, hooked it to the back of my car, and I was off to the races. But nobody in my small podunk town in southern New Mexico was hiring 15-year-old DJs. So I had to create my own opportunity. I rented the community center, hired an off-duty cop for security. Mom and dad took money at the door. I spun records. Everybody danced, had a great time.
That's nice.
I made $600-700 a night doing dances after the football games, the basketball games, and stuff like that on the weekends. That was my first thing. I loved it. I was doing something I loved and getting paid for it.
Nice.
And that was my first side hustle.
That's pretty good.
You was in a great area down there too. I love southern New Mexico. I lived out between Las Cruces and Alamogordo for a while and loved it out there.
So do you know Animas, New Mexico?
Is that over around Deming?
It is. It's right in the Boot Hill. We're right there in the middle, just off of I-10 by Lordsburg.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're out in the middle of nowhere. Dad used to say it's where the road ends and the west begins, and that's basically what it was.
Yeah, I lived on White Sands Missile Range.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And so that's kind of how I started things. When I went to college, I wanted to get in the FBI and chase serial killers. That was my goal in life. And we had an ex-FBI agent that lived by us that was friends of the family, and he said the easiest way in is accounting. Once you get in, when jobs open up, you apply for the job and you get what you're good at, so you don't have to stay in accounting. I'm like, okay. So my dad and this guy, they pushed me towards an accounting degree in college. And so I went to college in accounting. Once I got into accounting, I realized I was not good at it, and I really didn't like it. But it was a means to an end, so that's what I was going to do. I went to college I had 1 quarter left. And I decided I'm going to go back on the farm, help dad on the farm, and learn Spanish a little better. And while I was down there, I had customs agents and border patrol agents and regular cops that were getting this RK surgery done on their eyes. I'm in Podunk, New Mexico. I'm making money, no place to spend it. I was like, well, I'm going to get that done too. It was $1,500 an eye, and it was still considered experimental. But I went ahead and did it. I got back up to school to finish my degree up and start my application process to the FBI. And I found out that automatically disqualified me from the FBI.
Oh.
Because it was still experimental And they didn't want to put thousands, tens of thousands of dollars into training an FBI agent and then he go blind. And so I'm devastated. I graduated in a degree I don't like and I don't want to do. And I'm doing landscaping for $5 an hour as my part-time job at school. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And then I just fell back on kind of what my dad taught me. I look back on my life and I say, I was lucky because things just fell into place. But it was, Seneca, he says luck is when opportunity and preparedness meet. I add one more thing. It's when they meet and you take action, because if they meet and you don't take action, nothing happens. Mm-hmm. A buddy of mine, Joe, he worked for a bungee jump company at the school that I went to up in Utah. And he says, we just sold the tower to Japan. Do you want to go back to Japan? I'd spent a couple of years in Japan. I knew Japanese. And he kind of jokingly asked me, and I kind of non-jokingly said, yeah, I think I do. And so he put me in contact with the Japanese company that was buying the bungee jump tower. I contracted with them, and I spent 1994 to 2000 just going back and forth to Japan. I was a carny. I was doing thrill rides. So it was the bungee jump, the sky coaster, which is the big swing thing you see in all the amusement parks. Mm-hmm. They called me one time. The Japanese company called me. And they said, we saw this thing on TV. It's in Germany. It's a complete unattached free fall into a net from about 150 feet in the air. We want you to go try it. And I said, unattached free fall into a net? That's got to hurt. Yeah, I know. That's why we want you to go try it. I called Germany. Germany said that it was just for stunt people right now. I'll call you when it's ready for the public. I never thought I'd get a call back. And a couple of months later, I got a call back saying it's ready. This is the middle of February, and I'm on a plane to Hamburg and stopped off in Hamburg, tried it 3 or 4 times, and then continued to Japan, sold 3 of those in Japan, and then built 2 of them here in the U.S. after that. And that's just kind of how my life started and how things went. And that was
pretty cool. And you're doing all that and getting paid.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting paid well.
See, that's cool.
So I built the 2 rides for the German company, and then I built the 3 in Japan for the Japanese company. And so if anything that goes through my life comes across my life, good, bad, or ugly, I always think, okay, how can I monetize it? I don't monetize everything, but I always think, can I monetize it?
That to me, that beats chasing the price of pork bellies.
And I've never done the real job thing. And Dad did chase the price of pork bellies all the time. But I've never done the real job thing. I don't know if you came across this in your research, but last year, March 25th, I lost my lower left leg. And whenever I found out in like October of 2023 that this was going to happen, and once the shock and awe was over, my mind kind of works like this. Okay, I don't like this, but it's got to happen. It's going to happen. So how can I monetize it? 6 months post-op, I contracted with my prosthetist to help people go through what it is I went through. And the conversation went something like this. I was in the prosthetist's office. He was working on my fake leg. And I said, Scott, I met with 3 different prosthetists before I chose you. Your competition, they have a guy. Because I talked to him. He helped me. He answered questions for me about what was going to happen. Scott, you don't have a guy. I'm your guy. He says, okay, what do you want? And I said, I don't want a job. I just want a contract with you. I'll talk to the people. You send them my way, and let's make this happen. And so I work with him to help people go through what it is I'm going to have to go through. And then I help him with his marketing. And that's what we do.
That's pretty fun.
So
Amazing.
I don't want your
That's
listeners
pretty
to.
amazing. That's pretty amazing because I can only imagine that's probably a pretty traumatizing event.
So I walked through the hospital doors that morning.
Uh-huh.
You're going to hear a story later on about me jumping off a bungee tower.
Uh-huh.
And walking through the doors that morning was the scariest thing I've ever done. It was terrifying.
I can only imagine.
I mean, here's how I can explain it to you, and it's a little exaggerated, but I felt like a dead man walking, a death sentence person walking to the death chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was walking in and I would not be walking out. And I was terrified. I didn't know if I could do it, to be honest. And so in my head, I'm walking down the hallway of the hospital to get my leg cut off. And I'm saying in my head, peg leg walking, just trying to get down the hospital to get to the place I needed to go.
Well, it's kind of surreal because, you're walking in there and, like you said, I'm never going to do this again.
No. And so I just got a new leg the other day.
Nice.
So it has my brand on it. So it is tax deductible.
Well, it's business. Business right
Let
off.
me write that down in case I'll have my farm brand put on it, and yeah, I can take that.
So when they redo my knees, I can have them put the Misfit Nation on the knee implant, and I can write that off too. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Have a little viewing window on it, Stephen.
Yeah. So
little zipper here. Check it out.
Whatever comes across, I always think, can I monetize it? And I don't monetize everything, like I said, but I always think about it.
Our producer said that you might not be able to write it off, Stephen, but he can.
Yeah, because this is a show. I just play here. It's his sandbox. He just lets me in.
Okay, Bart, you've alluded to it. I got to hear about this bungee jump in Japan.
Okay. So if you're a business person or an entrepreneur, you have to be able to do hard things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to jump when you don't want to. Now, I am a certified bungee jump master. And what that gives me, it gives me the authority and the power to push little Japanese people off the top of an 8-story tower. And so after I decided I was going to Japan, 3 months later, I was in Japan doing exactly what I just said, assisting little Japanese people off the top of a tower. On our busiest day, we assisted 783 people off the top of that tower.
Wow.
Sometimes during the week, though, it was slow. And I am up on the top of this tower alone with my brilliant mind. So this is brilliant going forward. This is crazy. Brilliant, crazy. Now, at the bottom of my tower was a stunt person airbag, one that you could jump and hit the airbag and everything would be okay. In theory, you could do exactly what I just said. Jump without a cord, hit the airbag, and be okay. I walked to the edge of the tower thinking, okay, can I do this? My brilliant mind was asking me that. Hey, Bart, can you do it? And I looked down, and I wasn't that crazy. But in my head, I'm still thinking, okay, my brilliant mind says you can jump with a bungee cord, wait for the bouncing to stop, and then you just unhook yourself and you'll fall from 6 stories up instead of 8. And that's doable in my head. So I jumped with the cord. I waited for the bouncing to stop, but then I couldn't unhook the cord because of my weight was too heavy. And so my buddy that was controlling the things upstairs let me down, and I went back up to the top of the tower. And I'm still thinking, okay, when we attach the bungee cord to a customer, it is a 12-inch, 1-inch thick strap that had a carabiner at the end. I could get that. I could hook it on itself, and I have a loop. I can put 2 of those loops at the bottom of the bungee cord, and what do I have? Handles. I can jump just hanging onto the bungee cord with my hands, wait for the bouncing to stop, and then all I have to do is let go, and then I could fall back.
Wow.
So I put these loops at the end. I grabbed the end. I grabbed my handles. I walked to the edge. I looked down. I said, 3, 2, 1, bungee, and I jumped. Now, obviously, everything came out okay because I'm here.
Yeah,
but let me tell you,
you're not.
sometimes your brilliant mind doesn't go far enough. I was able to hang on. When the bouncing stopped, I am hanging at the end of a giant rubber band. What's going to happen when I let go?
That rubber band is shooting to the sky.
That bungee cord shot straight up and hit the tower with a loud bang. I fell to the mat with a loud slap, and it echoed throughout the park, and everyone came running to see who just died. And I'm crawling out of the airbag. Oh, I'm okay. Everything's good. Nothing to see here. But as business people, we have to be able to make an educated jump, to take that first step to get going, to see what there is to see. And you think, I even think sometimes thinking about this, how crazy I was to do it. But it was an educated guess. I had jumped thousands of times. I knew what the pressure feels like because I could felt it before. I knew I could hang on to the original descent. I was just worried that on that rebound where you're weightless, I was hoping my body didn't go like, ah, and let go.
Yes.
And it didn't. I made sure and held on. And so
See, I've always been afraid to do that because I can get up to a height, but then I can't get down. I was 19. I was working in a warehouse. I was 20 feet up on a ledge, and I went to get on a ladder, and the ladder went. I was hanging there, and ever since then, I can get up high, but I can't get down. And so I would get up there, and I would probably stand there for hours without jumping off of that damn bungee on me. I would just not know what to do with myself.
we did have people do that as well. I mean, that was, but for me, I mean, it's crazy because as a kid, I remember having dreams, nightmares of being on a skyscraper or a cliff or something and not being able to get down. I don't know why I became this adrenaline junkie, but it must have been those dreams that I love it. And
you talk about bungee. I went bungee jumping. I bungee jumped a few times. My first time I went, I was in Germany, and we were bungee jumping off of a crane.
Yep.
And the guy told me, because we were jumping over the Danau River, and they asked you before you hooked or before they figured out your weight and everything, do you want to go in the river? I was like, well, yeah. And the guy said, if I get your shoes wet, it's free. And needless to say, I had to pay for it because he took my weight. He figured it out. I went into about my knees and popped back out. My shoes didn't get wet. That was a rush.
Yeah, I bet it was.
And you mentioned crazy. One of your podcasts that I listened to, it was, you interviewed Kwasi Dorby, and he said, you have to be crazy, not straight jacket crazy, just crazy.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. That was, that to own your own business and to do, to monetize, thinking about monetizing everything.
You have to be a little bit of that brilliance and a little bit of that crazy as well.
Yes, yes, you do. Hey, we're going to take a quick pause real quick. I have a public service announcement that I'm going to put out real quick. Listeners, if you're out there, it's the beginning of the holiday season. I know a lot of people out there that are probably spending this holiday alone. It can get you down. Do not give into that darkness, please. Do not give into that darkness, because we want you here. We enjoy having you here. If you start feeling yourself slipping into that darkness, get on that phone, pick it up, dial 988. If you're a veteran, take option 1. The people on the other end of that line will get you the help that you need. If you're afraid, if you are embarrassed to call that number, email myself, Stephen, at Stephen@themisfitnation.com, Jake@themisfitnation.com, or info@themisfitnation.com. Leave your name and number. We will call you back. And I tell you how it's going to work. One of us will get you on the phone and be texting the other one and trying to locate you and get you the help you need. Because let me tell you what, somebody out there is going to miss you. And don't put them through that. And tomorrow will not be as a beautiful day as today, you know, with you not in it. So please pick up that phone, get you some help. Thank you.
Amen, brother.
All right.
All right. Before
Stephen,
we start again, let's
Yep.
get this question in, because there's a question for you and I. Muff Munch Commander. Thank you. Cagney and Lacey, what are your favorite dishes for Thanksgiving and your favorite childhood memories of Thanksgiving? Favorite dishes? Well, deviled eggs, sweet potatoes with marshmallows.
Nice.
Those are 2 of my favorite. And childhood memories, the whole damn family. We grew up in a 5-bedroom apartment, a railroad apartment, they called it. And we would have the whole damn family over. There was pretty much bodies in the kitchen, the living room, some in the bedrooms. We'd be outside playing. And that is probably the greatest. Back then, Thanksgiving, Christmas, any of the holidays, the whole damn family being together in that little apartment, hanging out and being one. And that's one thing I miss today.
Yes. For me, I liked it all. My favorite now, though, is, of course, dessert. And I got to have sweet potato pie. I have to have that. And if you take the filling out of sweet potato pie and mash it between a dinner roll with a slice of turkey and a slice of ham for leftovers, it's amazing. And I think every year everybody would go to my mama and papa's house. They had a pretty good sized farmhouse, and we would go there. I had about 25 cousins, and most all them was there for that. All the aunts and uncles and everybody was there, and we'd start eating at about noon and probably quit about dark. And you know, it was probably about the only time that all of us ever got together. And that's probably one of my best memories of Thanksgiving. Thank you for that question.
And thanks for the laugh at that name.
Yes. Yes.
Bart, back to you. Sorry.
Yeah, Bart, back to you. I
did warn you, though. Yeah, Jake.
You talked to a guy on your podcast, and this is the first one that I listened to. His name was Mark Stoner. Took a college project when he was in college. They said to make up a job that you think that you would want to do. He picked being a chimney sweep.
Pretty crazy, huh?
And then I read his story, and I listened to the podcast, and now he's got a $10 million company, and he's a chimney sweep in Nashville. Okay. How does somebody do that?
So you'll have to go listen to podcasts of how he did it, but it started as a college project, and he picked it and he took it into real life. And once again, when I talk to people and help them find what it is they want to do, or I take them through a process of what do you like to do? What do you need to do? What are you already doing? And then we ask, okay, can we monetize it? And we figure out a handful of things to try, and then you just try. Mark, he found what he wanted to do, why he was interested in it. He probably watched Mary Poppins and Chim Chim Cheree and then decided, okay, that's what I want to do. And then turning it into a multi-million-dollar business is just incredible. But that just proves that so many things that we don't even think about can become a multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah.
And Monetize Your Mindset isn't about creating millionaires. It's about creating financial security by monetizing the stuff that you already know and do.
Okay. So
and that's what I want people to think about.
If somebody calls you or contacts you, for you to coach them, and I'm gonna have you kind of take us through it. I would imagine you do an inventory of what they like to do, what they're capable of doing, and then figure out from there the opportunities that they have based on that.
Correct. So once again, what do you like to do? What do you need to do? What are you already doing? And then I'll take it one step further. What would you like to learn? What did you need to learn? What have you already learned? And from those things, we'll take those and we'll refine them into two different lists. The things you want to do the most, and then the things you think can turn into a stream of income the fastest. And the way you do the second list, you got to do the research on, what are the resources you need? Time, money. And then one of the biggest inventories, once you get those resources, is it something that you want to do? I'll give you a quick example. When I land in Japan, there's this restaurant called Koko Ichiban Curry. It is a Japanese curry restaurant, and that's the first place I go. I love it. And it's the last place I go when I come back, when I leave Japan. I thought, oh man, I need to take this to America. This will be great. If you go to Okinawa or Tokyo, where the army bases are, where the military bases are, and you go there on a Friday or Saturday night, you think you're in America because that's where all the GIs are. And so I knew it would go in America. I had a guy that was willing to back me with the funding. And the conversation went something like this in Japanese. He said, okay, I'll give you the money to start this. If you make money, we'll split it. If you don't worry about it. So it was great terms on the funding. I actually even had to go to some other Japanese friends and say what he said and make sure I understood it correctly, because that was crazy to me. I got home to the US, I started doing my research and I started putting things into place, and something just said, I don't want to work that hard. Restaurants are tough. I don't want to work that hard. And so I told the guy, no, I said, I'll lose your money. I'd love to eat there. I just don't want to oversee the cooking of it every day. And so I said no, because I didn't want that lifestyle. We all think, okay, I want to be like Bezos or Musk or Mark Cuban or whoever that is rich. But do we want to give up what they did? I mean, Mark Cuban slept on people's couches for the first part of his entrepreneurial career. And then Musk, he still sleeps in the office 90% of the time. Is that what you want? And so you have to, whenever you're in this, okay, how quick can I turn it into a stream of income? You also need to say, okay, is this the life I want? Do I want to give up whatever it is to get it? And so you have to make those decisions. And
plus Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
And that's how it would go. That's how it would go when I'm working with someone. And then I have people that they're talking to me and they're telling me about their things that they want to do. I'll just give you a quick example. Oh, I want to be in digital marketing. Well, digital marketing is this huge space. What part of digital marketing do you want to do? And he'd come over here and tell me, well, I could do this, this, and this. And then he'd come over here, I can do this, this, and this. And I'm just like, I don't even understand what you're trying to sell me. And then when he hit the thing that he really wanted to do, his countenance changed. He lit up. He could speak to me. He could tell me what it was that he wanted to do, and I could understand it. I knew right there that that's what he needed to do.
Okay.
You could tell just by the change in his countenance. And the bigger thing is I could understand why I would want to buy it. And that's kind of how it goes. And then we get AI involved. It is the easiest time to be in business right now because I can show you how to use AI to make it save you time, save you money, and increase your chances of success.
I'm not going to say I'm afraid of AI, but I'm still leery of it. But you hear bad stories about it and the scams that they're running with AI, right? I just don't understand why people can't do good with it.
Well, and a lot of people do. We just hear about the bad.
Exactly.
That's the stuff.
It's like the news. The news wants you to know what they want you to know. That's it.
Yeah. And here's my worry. How stupid are we going to be 2 years from now? Because I don't even think when I'm creating right now. I'll tell AI, okay, give me 5 ideas around this subject for a marketing campaign. And, and I go look at okay, I like this one. Now give me 5 image ideas for this that I chose. And then, okay, create this image. I don't even think anymore.
Well, I mean, think 30 years ago. And I know me, I probably had at least 100 phone numbers in my head that I could dial and call the people that went with that phone number.
Yep.
And now I can't even remember my own phone number.
But we can remember those numbers that were in our heads.
Yes, we can. I tell you, all my friends in high school, I still know their home phone numbers from when I was a kid.
and that's the way it's going to be because it's just so easy. It's kind of, I don't want to call it a crutch, but I produce better stuff using it, but I don't, it's copy and paste. It's copy and paste. And
yeah.
I can plug in a business idea. Someone comes to me with a business idea. I can plug it into an AI that's called Venturis, and it will give me 8 pages, 10 pages of business stuff. From what's your unique selling principle, what's your minimum selling product, what is your what do you need to look out for? It'll give you, if you have the paid version, it'll give you a score of your chances of success. And then it has a chat bot that I can say, okay, my score is 64%. What do I need to focus on to make that a better score? And it'll give me a readout of, okay, these are the things you need to watch out for. I know where to look.
Now, what's your cutoff? What would be your cutoff score on that? Okay, you threw 64% out there. If somebody's doing that and say, what do you tell them? 85 to 90?
Vegas was built on 52%.
Well, I think that was successful.
I'm good with 64, but okay. I want it to be better. So I just need to focus. I need to find my unique selling property and focus on that. And my unique thing is I don't have an agenda when I talk to people about their side hustle. I don't want you to join my network marketing company. I don't want you to sell my stuff. We go through your life experiences and find the experiences unique to you that we can monetize. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, my leg, bad, it's a bad thing. But when life gives you lemons, you're supposed to make lemonade. I take it one step further. If I'm making lemonade, I might as well build a lemonade stand and sell the stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
And so I have a friend, she was my grief counselor. My prosthetist said, you want to get a grief counselor before you get your foot cut off. So I did. And she's a friend of mine. She's a grief counselor because she went through some bad stuff losing a teenage boy. Mm-hmm. She's not a grief counselor because she wants to be. She's a grief counselor because she experienced stuff and she wants to help other people. I wouldn't advise your audience to go chop off body parts to start a side hustle. But if you have to have it happen, think about it. What can you do? And I'm just started with my monetizing my missing leg. I got some other things that are coming down the road that hopefully are going to do me a lot better than what I get with my prosthetist.
Hey, Stephen, you want to pop that question we got up in there?
Yeah, I got two of them here. Hold on 1 second.
All righty.
Jesus. All right, somebody's stuff in the button. There we go. No. I'm going to look away. There we go. At Bama Sucks 9 wants to know, what's the biggest opportunity most people overlook when trying to start a side hustle?
So the biggest opportunity are the stuff that's in their backyard. And I usually close with this, but let's do it now. So my dad was a pig farmer. Okay, so I grew up in a small town in southern New Mexico. Have either of you two heard the story of Acres of Diamonds?
No.
Okay, Acres of Diamond is about a Persian farmer. He sold his farm and he went in search of diamonds. He died broke, alone in a foreign land. He never found his riches. The new owner of his farm was watering his camel in the brook that ran through the property, and he looked down and there was this rock, picked it up, it was a diamond. He found acres of diamonds in what was Alia Fed's backyard. My family, we have a similar story. Instead of acres of diamonds, I call it acres of pig poop. Like I said, small town in southern New Mexico, there were more pigs than people in my town. At any one time, there was probably 18, 19,000 pigs. We had around 2,000 sows. You guys obviously know what a sow is, right?
Yes. I grew up on a farm. I'm very familiar.
It's a mama pig, for those who don't know. And on our farm, we average 9.97 pigs per litter. And so for the mathematicians, if you're doing the math, that equals a lot of pig poop. Mm-hmm. And we had these 3 man-made ponds. We called them the lagoons. They were settling ponds. They'd go to this one year, then it'd go to the next one, and then the next one. And we just rotate them year after year after year. That's where the sewage would go. Now, Dad, in his mid-60s, he decided it was time to shut down the pig operation and go in search of his next acres of diamonds, his next big opportunity. He died at age 81, never found it. 2 years after he died, we sold the farm for $235,000, which was a fair price for the property at the time. Mm-hmm. The new owners of our farm, they were about 6 months later, they were leveling those man-made ponds. They'd been dry on top for years. But as the heavy grader went across the pond, it broke through the crust and sunk up to its belly in this black muck. They called in experts to see if it was okay, see what they needed to do. And right there on the spot, they offered the new owners of our farm $2,000 a ton for the stuff.
Wow.
That's $1 a pound for old pig poop. The farm that we sold for $235,000 was now worth over $1 million. Acres of diamonds right under my dad's nose. It was there, and he missed it. So, answer the question. That's the biggest opportunity that my dad missed. But the message is stuff that is right in your own backyard. right there within your grasp, right there under your nose. And obviously from the story, it could even look like a pile of pig poop. And so just pay attention to the opportunities that are all around you. Now we'll take that to me. When I went to Japan, my first trip to Japan for the bungee jump was in 1994. And I saw these big nets. You would drive and there'd be nets and lights. And I'm just like, wow, what is that? It was called F1. It was a driving range. It was Top Golf before Top Golf was even a thought. Mm-hmm. The ball would come up out of the ground already sitting on the tee. You had a little button to adjust the height of the tee. You didn't have to bend over and touch anything. You just hit. The next one came up, hit, and it would just sink down and come back up with the next ball and the next ball. And you bought these little cards with like 100 balls on it or 1,000 balls or whatever, and you stick it in this machine, and you're just hitting until you're happy. You're hitting those balls, and all of a sudden it's gone. Your balls are all gone, and you have to go buy another card. Mm-hmm. You don't feel like you're just hitting the balls to your happy galore. And I'm just like, this is a money-making machine. I need to take this to America. And I'm a 24-year-old kid. I started doing my research over there, and there were just too many zeros on the end of those numbers. I mean, we're talking, $25, $26 million to even think about getting started, taking it over to America. And so as a young kid, I let it go. I wasn't prepared mentally for that big of a number. And I often, not that I hate my life has been great, but I often think about, what if I was the top golf guy? How cool would that be?
Yeah.
And so that is a missed opportunity that I had because the numbers were too big.
Yeah. I could only imagine. Well, you were saying, I could only imagine how much that would cost. And
so the biggest missed opportunities are those that are right in your own backyard, that you're leaving money on the table that you could turn into a stream of income easy. We often want easy. At least I want easy money, and so I So I hope that answers the question.
I'm sure it does. And we got a few more that came in here.
All right, next one. At I Am Who You Want wants to know, how do you help someone shift from a scarcity mindset to an opportunity mindset?
The best way to do that. So we're back to the bungee jump story, taking that first leap, taking that first step. Once you get that, that's the hardest part. And so when it comes to scarcity, we have things in our life. So I even have it. And my dad was the millionaire next door, but he always would say money doesn't grow on trees. And so I am a little bit frugal in some ways because of my dad. And so we have to recognize the blocks that are up, whether it's money doesn't grow on trees, money is evil, when it's the love of money that is evil. It's not actually money. Mm-hmm. And so depending on the person's situation, it's going to be different on how I deal with it. But the biggest part of helping them is if I am there to help them take that step, to help them hold their hand, to help them understand what they really have. I was on a call tonight with a guy, and he's got this idea. And the first thing he said when he got on the call, he's just like, I just don't know. I've kind of had a bad day, and I'm questioning whether this is going to work. And he was, the last call we had, he showed me this outline to a book that he is going to base. He's writing this book, and he's going to base a course onto that. And it's how to use the game of chess to make kids more resilient and help them grow into champions versus kind of what we have nowadays where everybody gets a participation trophy, not to get into politics or anything like that.
Yeah.
And when I saw his outline, I'm like, Joe, when I read your outline last time, it made me want to read the book. Don't doubt yourself. And I said, and I'm not saying this to blow smoke up your skirt. I'm just, whenever I read your outline, I wanted to read the book.
Okay.
And so it's helping them pick the right thing that they're excited about. We talked about the countenance whenever it changed when someone was talking about it. If you get them on something that they like to do, then they don't care about the money. They want to do it anyway. And so that scarcity mindset goes away because they already are excited about it. If you can be excited about it, you don't care. If you're doing something you love, money's just a byproduct.
Yeah. A good byproduct. We got time for a couple more questions here quickly.
Hugh Jordan wants to know, can you share a moment in your entrepreneurial journey where mindset made the difference between success and failure?
So I grew up I don't remember not having a horse. And this is kind of different from entrepreneurial, but it's the same thing. And I remember having my horse at age 7. His name was George, and he was a hand-me-down from my brother. He was a roping horse, but anytime you threw the rope, he would throw his head, and that doesn't make for a good roping horse because the rope will catch on the ears of the horse instead of the cow that you're looking for. And so that was my hand-me-down. And I walked up to my dad one day and I said, Dad, when is George going to be my horse? What are you talking about? George is your horse. No, Dad, he's Randy's horse or your horse. And now he's just my hand. When is he going to be my horse? And so my dad thought about it a second. He said, okay, well, when you can put the saddle on by yourself, he's your horse. He's yours. And we're not talking a little English saddle. We're talking an adult roping saddle, heavier than I am. And I was excited. I mean, I went and I grabbed the chair, tied George to the back porch and grabbed a chair from the kitchen table. I drug the saddle over, picked it up just enough to hit the side of George, and George stepped aside and I fell flat on my face. And I did this week after week. Saturday morning after cartoons, George was tied up on the back porch, and I would try it and try it and try it. Finally, when I was 12 years old, it happened. I got it on, and George became my horse. 5 years later, just in time to sell George and buy Buck to be my roping horse. The point is, I did it. It took me 5 years. And why did I get there? Now, let me contrast this with several years ago, back in the early 2000s, I thought I was going to be a poker pro. And I read poker books. I mean, I studied it more than I studied accounting, and I enjoyed it. I loved reading the poker book, and I thought I was going to be a poker pro. I was going to be playing in the World Series of Poker in Vegas. About 8 months of playing poker online for 6-8 hours a day. I checked my poker account, and I was plus like $500. I did the math. It was 29 cents an hour. I'm like, okay, that's not going to pay the bills. I quit. But I should say it wasn't, I put it on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference there? With George, why did I stay with George for 5 years to get him? Whenever I couldn't do it, either Dad or my brother would come and put the saddle on for me. I saw how it was done. I could see it. I just needed to grow. I needed to get stronger. I needed to do it. With poker, I didn't have anyone but the books. I had no one taking my hand and guiding me. And when I ended up 29 cents an hour, I gave up. Now, if I would have had someone coaching me and a mentor along my side as I was going, things could have been different. He could have said the same thing. Dude, you suck. You shouldn't be a poker player. Or he could have helped me and I could have become a better poker player. Either way, it was having someone there to help me. And that made the difference in my success and my failure. And so really having someone that has done what it is you want to do and can help you to that situation, help you get there quicker, with
Mhm.
the learning curve, that's going to make the difference.
All right. All right.
All right.
Stephen, you want to hit that last one?
Here we go. And Eileen Dover 3 wants to know, what are the top 5 side hustles for 2025?
So I actually have 25 successful side hustles for 2025 at youridealsidehustle.com. So they can go get that if they, and it's not necessarily in any order, but it's the side hustles that are out there. Now, understand that things are changing really quick with AI. If you were to do a Google search right now, the top 20 or top side hustles for 2026, there's probably only one of them that doesn't deal with AI. But you ask some of these AI experts what they're telling their kids that are going to make them next million, they're going to tell you it's a plumber or an electrician. Stuff like
what the
that
world
is
needs.
the next big dollar things to look at.
That's what Mike Rowe will tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
You need mechanics, you need pipe workers. That's what you need.
Things that AI can't do. If you're looking at digital marketing or something like that, I would advise against it.
Okay.
But I would also say, if you are in that space, learn AI, because you can help businesses that don't want to learn AI, that are afraid of AI or leery of AI. You can do it for them, and they make their business stronger and make a good paycheck doing it.
All right. All right. Well, I don't think we have any more questions, and I think we are just about out of time. We got a couple more things for you, though, Bart.
Uh-oh.
First of all, if somebody wants to contact you and have you work with them, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
So if you download that 25 for 25 at youridealsidehustle.com, that'll put you on my list, and we can make contact there.
Okay.
Also, I have the sidehustledojo.com, sidehustledojo.com. Anytime I'm doing an event live or online, the registration page will be at that site.
Okay. All right. Well, good deal. Now, I'm going to put you on the hot seat here real quick. Ask this of all of our guests. What are 3 things, non-negotiable, that Bart has to do every day?
That I have to do every day. So one of my side hustles is I am a dog trainer. I love dogs, and I love the fact that I've finally monetized my mutt. But my dogs demand time, so I have to take care of my dogs every day.
Okay.
I want to be in alignment with God. I want to have his help. I want to have his blessing. And so I want to touch base with God probably several times a day, not just once.
Okay.
So that I can have his blessing, and that I know where to focus, or who is needing my help. Find a way to get there. And then the last one would be, I need to take time for myself and my family, which is just me and my wife and my dog. So the dog's already got some, so I got to make sure my wife is okay. My dad used to always say, your job is to find out what your wife wants and make sure it happens. And so whether I'm good at that or
wise words.
Now, if she's listening to this right now, are you in trouble that she went third and the dogs were first? That's the
We're
question.
not in any specific order.
No. You went down a list. Dogs went first, wife third. Now, if she's listening,
look at it that
you're
way.
in the shit tonight.
Oh, Bart, this has been a good chat.
Well, I appreciate you having me. It's been fun. You guys are a blast.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And I tell you what, just continued success with everything that you're doing, and hopefully, somebody watching this can say, you know what, I enjoy doing X, whatever it is. Let's go out and see if we can monetize it. And then they can come on here and they say, hey, I listened to Bart Merrell on your show and I applied it, and here's what I'm doing now.
And I hope that what I've said, anything I've said, has been a help to somebody out there that really needs to improve their situation.
Everything you said makes you want to think. This is something I want to do, and maybe there is a way to do it.
It's about being prepared for what happens when what happens, when life happens. And whether it's cancer or Christmas, we got Christmas around the corner. Are you prepared?
No.
Or are you going to be paying for it after the first of the year? And so don't leave money on the table. Get prepared for when life happens so that you're not stuck in a bad place.
Yes. Well, hey, Bart, thank you for hanging out with us this evening. Misfit Nation, thank you for hanging out with us this evening. We really enjoy this time with you, and you could have been anywhere else this evening, and you spent it with us. So for that, we're grateful. We love each and every one of you. Have a wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving.
Bart, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.